I just took 2 more Mucinex. What have I been up to? Well, I've been really, really sick. I've been in the hospital 2 times. I talk about how I'm sick all the time. And I know it's annoying, I'm sure. This time I had a fever. I went to the hospital with 104 fever after being discharged from the last episode, like 5 days ago, from having what I thought was hypercalcemia. Go to the emergency room. They say there's nothing wrong with your calcium in your blood, but you have to check it through the urine. They didn't do that. They released me. I feel a little bit better. Then a day later, I still have a cough. I come back to the ER, and I have 104 fever, and they're like, "Huh, that's weird," and they still discharge me when it goes down to 100, and they says keep an eye on it. So then a couple days later, it goes back up to 104. I go back to the ER, and they determine that I do have hypercalcemia. I do also have the flu, which I probably got at the ER. And the flu lasted because my immune system was compromised, like monocytosis or cytopenia. Like I had very low levels of NK cells and some other monocyte thing that was like really, really low. It's like you're gonna feel like shit because your body's been on a JAK inhibitor and the vitamin D. Your immune system's so suppressed. This flu is gonna feel like shit. It was horrible. I was in bed for the entire time other than going to the emergency room. I skipped test yesterday, my test injection HCG, just because I'm sick of putting things in my body. I'm so sick. I was like done with pills and vitamins. I was like disgusted. And you know that thing when you're at your place and you've been sick for a while, you think your place is disgusting? Like it's more sick than you are. You get better, but your place is sick. So I slept at a hotel last night just to give myself a break. And I have this cough thing that keeps coming back. That's awful. It's like death. I'm taking Mucinex every like 6 to 8 hours. I don't even think you're supposed to do that. I think it's every 12 hours. It's really bad. Haven't taken DHEA or pregnenolone in a while. So I don't know what to make of what this podcast is going to sound like, but I thought I would just say, yeah, I'm not dead. I'm alive. The markets are about as boring as they can be. NVIDIA beats on earnings, and it's still not good enough. Obviously, we're waiting for Iran. Obviously, we're waiting for a rate cut. The market's just like, yeah, CapEx requirements, great. In order for that to do anything, we need to have a rate cut. We're cutting also into an unemployment rate that's a bit disconcerting. Like, I don't know that the rate cuts are going to like have people hire the random people that would otherwise be employed through robots. Like, you know, it's like, we don't need your job. Rate cut for what? Capital expenditure for more hyperscalers or data centers, not for people. More robots, please. So it's going to be an interesting, like, singular event where rate cuts in a high unemployment, like borderline dangerous unemployment, does not yield more jobs. It yields more like non-human jobs. So, yeah, that's interesting. I don't even know why we do it, though. Like, why do we follow these autistic freaks? We don't have to follow Peter Thiel. We don't have to idolize Elon Musk. We don't have to. You know, you don't need to do that. Like, you are a Harvard MBA at CVS pointing to someone in the checkout line to go to the machine. That's what you are. Like, that's what a lot of people are in white collar jobs, and it's going to happen to blue collar jobs, even though they think they're safe. They're not. They're not. It's going to happen to all service workers, all like high skilled labor, knowledge based labor, white and blue. So, yeah, that sucks. I'm playing around with Gastown, trying to get some bots, like an agent of bots. Chief of the town, the mayor, tells the other bots what to do. There's like a project-oriented task hierarchy where it's like the primary thing, sub kind of tasks, and then there's like the mayor that like organizes everything. And there's like sub leaders. It's basically the idea. I saw George Hotz do this very quickly the other day, and I've struggled with it more. But I'm trying. Still trying to download it. I'm just kidding. I'm trying. It's hard when you have neuroinflammation. But I digress. So, yeah. Christian Bale. Heat 2. That's pretty awesome. I like that. I'm a big fan. Heat's the greatest movie of all time. Yes. I completely baited this idiot online who was like, Heat was overrated. I'm like, agreed. All the Avenger movies are better. And he was just like, gave it a, thumbs up and whatever. I'm like, I just set you up to be attacked by everybody. Heat's an amazing movie. Not everyone's a fucking Marvel fan or whatever, like that's into all the comic book stuff. Heat's a great movie. To say that it's overrated, you don't have to say you liked it. It's overrated. Overrated means you think it was good, but some people thought it's too good. Okay, it's kind of a weird thing to say. I think it's like, well, it was good, but people think it's too good. It's kind of like a Karen thing to say. It's like, hey, maybe what about all the people in spandex? I feel like they don't have enough play. I feel like the Hulk needs another sequel more than Heat does. I'm like, well, Heat's only had one, and it's coming up. It's a prequel and a sequel. It goes back and forth between time. Christian Bale, Leonardo DiCaprio, Adam Driver, Austin Butler, probably more people, It's hard when studios, I don't know if it's a studio film per se, it's a Michael Mann film. You got like two people going up against each other, two like mainstream people. I feel like that's when like people get scared. Like you don't want your guy to be outdone. Colin Farrell would have been a good choice, but the whole Penguin thing is busy. I don't really like that shit. It's like, he's doing an accent and he's wearing a mask. It's the costume department. Heat is an archetypal panoply of everything. You've got the absentee father, borderline personality disorder, Natalie Portman. You've got the cocaine addiction. You have a person who is an impulse control problem who can't get out of their own way, Robert De Niro's character. He could have left with the girl and the money, but he felt slighted. Pride comes before the fall. He goes back to get Wangro, and that's what does him in. He sees Al Pacino's character in the parking lot. The ambulance is coming in to the fire alarm in the hotel after he kills Wangro. Don't allow nothing in your life that you're not prepared to walk out on 30 seconds flat when you feel the heat coming around the corner. And coming around the corner was Al Pacino. And he saw the girl. She saw him. He had to walk away. Such a good movie. Dude. Shameful for anyone who thinks that's not a great movie. It's like, it's a fucking, the shootout scene, it's apparently the reason it sounds so good is they don't do any overlays. This is what it sounded like in downtown LA. The echoes of the chamber fire and the guns and the reverb, whatever, like just from like the echoes of the rounds going off in downtown LA through the buildings. That was just a boom, picking up the sound. That's it. It's awesome. It's awesome. People are so online today. Yeah, it's kind of funny. It's like we're about to go to war with Iran. The Epstein files came out. We're still going to go to war with Iran. Everyone's going to get what they want. No one's going to jail for like the Epstein thing that's like really important. Howard Lutnick's not going to have his career ruined. Trump is not going to be like removed. He might get impeached, but he won't be removed after the midterms. It's all very boring. But everyone's so comfortable in like the digital world, they just don't really like pay attention. They're so caught up in talking about this online that they don't realize how like that doesn't do anything. It's the perfect pacifier for like the everyday person to just be like, you know what? I have to when I'm on Twitter after work, I'm gonna discuss this with my disciples, and we're gonna put a stop to this pedophile ring and take this treasonous, pro-Semitic, what is it called? Semiphilic, pro-Semitic, whatever. The president. We're gonna put him out to pasture. We're gonna put him in the fucking like pig pen. But they just do that online. Nothing happens. It's arguably the greatest move of Elon Musk is like realizing this. I think is kind of one of the pacifications for people that are concerned about censorship being removed from X. It's like you don't want to put these people in silos. That's how you get a Nick Fuentes. You want to put them out in the open, let the algorithm surreptitiously sequester them. They think they're talking to everyone. Bots, fake bots are just liking their tweets, and they're just like talking to a limited number of people in an echo chamber based off of the algorithm restricting their reach. They're like-minded psychos and freaks. And so your effectual civil disobedience is like smaller and smaller in the digital world than it is in the real world. And, as easy as it is now with vibe coding, you create your own platform, people just want to be where everyone else is. It's becoming more and more clear, though, that like where everyone else is like filled with bots and like manipulation. So it's tough, man. People are so addicted to affirmation, they'd rather be on like a platform that just gives them likes from a machine than like real likes from a person. It's not necessarily, but they're happy to be under that misapprehension than not, and on a new app that's like pure and not getting the same recognition for their engagement. Mm-hmm. I'd love to get out of town. I just don't feel I've earned it. Homeless person keeps sending me requests for Cash App. I should never have given that to them. They do it every week. It's supposed to be a helping hand, not like a per diem, I'm not like, it's the whole idea is to help you get off, but no. And when you call them out on it, they like homeless people that are like literally homeless for a living, and like they're like your neighborhood homeless person, and they're chipper, and their whole like goal is just panhandling, and they love the hustle, and they're like a crack addict, and they're very nice. But like when you just get sick of them, they really show how like they have this sort of personality dysfunction that's not like conducive to normal society. They become like huge assholes to you. They call you out, you're like stuck up or whatever. I'm like, and then they start talking, saying like you're like cussing you out or something for not giving them $1 or whatever. And I'm like, I'm 6'6". I should smack the shit out of you right now, but you're a homeless schizophrenic. I'm not going to do that. So, No, it's not that guy. It's usually just like the crack addicts that do it. They get really angry and like, you think I'm not gonna slap you because you're homeless? I've been giving you money. I'm just sick of seeing you. You're lowering the property value. Like, help me out, man. Like, just, you know? Anyone who's lost a friend to like drugs or alcohol and they see a homeless person, that homeless person partially leaves those people alone. They don't know for certain, but a lot of them are surprised when they don't get what they want. But if that person were to tell them that, usually the homeless person says, never mind, sorry. Because they get it. They're kind of like preying on people sometimes. Some of the hustlers on the street, they're not all like hustlers. Some of them are like derelict, destitute, and really need help. But some of the hustlers that also need help, but abuse the privileges of that, if you want to call it a privilege, they just like don't want to. They are under the assumption that you don't know someone like that, or that rule of dealing with someone who like used drugs and alcohol and then killed themselves or like hurt themselves, that you cared about, that doesn't apply to their situation. You shouldn't like frame their asking for assistance from that framework of like, you cared about this person and that let you down by enabling, so you're not going to do that to this person because you actually care. You care not just about your property value, you care about them, and it's not best for them. It's almost giving someone a $5 is easy. It's easier than saying no. I've recently started saying no, but in a more angry tone. No. Like I'm just like, no. And they're like, I'm like, dude, I'm getting sick of seeing you around. Like, it's ridiculous. This isn't fun for me. It's not like a fucking minstrel show where you're doing a little dance and saying some like weird, like, I don't know, bizarre joke that I have no reference for. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. And it's like I'm just supposed to, this is our chummy little bullshit dance. I'm supposed to put up with you. I'm like, no, it's not good for the people that put their life savings into a business downtown. It's not good for you. You're bleeding heart liberal if you're like, oh, well, you got to be considerate. You're conservative. It's like, don't give them any money. I'm like, I'm just like, practically speaking, kind of like tired of being manipulated, like, hey, stop fucking with me. Like, it's like you're not buying a sandwich. Like, oh, still fat. I've lost so much weight. I can barely eat. During this whole 7 days, I ate like nothing. I'm still fat. I look at myself in the mirror. Didn't do testosterone the other day. I'm like, this testosterone level where I'm at is just so far below what I could do naturally. Like, it's not. There's no point to even be on it, unless it does something with my immune system, which I think it might do. I think it might help a little bit. But we're gonna find out. I don't know if I'm gonna take testosterone on Friday. I don't know. I'm just like testing the waters, letting it drop a little bit, even further. It's crazy. What am I doing? I look like shit. I really do. Like, have you seen the way I've looked before? Like before starting this show or whatever this medium is, I've looked like an Adonis, like an 8-pack, 240. Like, no, not 240. I'm 240 now. 200, but like way more muscle, looking like I'm 240. No one would know I'm 200 pounds. Like I 8-pack, 6'6", just like shoulders, or like, now, like, hold on. There's just nothing, it's just like very like, oh, you play tennis, which is like not my natural state, you know. That's kind of the way God made me. But that's the way he makes everyone until they try. But I you know, got an autoimmune disorder recently, 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. And, you know, I was trying that out. I just don't know whether it's good for my brain or if it makes me retarded or it helps me or if I don't know. I said I would do it after tax season. I would try it, like getting off again. I don't know. Maybe just try now because I look so bad as it is, and I'm still losing weight. You know, if the anxiety all comes, I can't handle it, and then I don't know. We'll see. But there are parts of like my aggression that I do miss with the testosterone, just being like a fucking animal. But I don't know if that's good. You know, I don't know if that's good either. I'm like not trying to make stupid mistakes and like be incredibly impulsive. At the same time, there was a point in time where I was like, I'm going to kill all my enemies if this thing I'm doing doesn't work out. I did like that mindset. I think Nick Fuentes would appreciate that. It's like, well, if this thing that I'm doing doesn't work out and I fail, I can kill all my enemies and die in battle. And it's like, that's actually a very practical way of looking at things. You know, that's a very honorable way of going. It's like, if I don't make millions of dollars doing this and I fail, just fall on my ass, let's slaughter all my enemies. Police shootout, die. Okay, that's it. That's actually not bad. That's not bad. That's decent. That's a good plan. You don't want to tell it to your mom, but like that's a good plan. So that hasn't happened yet. Weird. That was like a weird. Oh, that was like my cough coughed like a little baby. That was really weird. Yeah, I don't know when this cough's gonna go away. It's like keeps wanting to, you know, like come out. It's not good. I don't know what's good, what's right, what's wrong. I don't know. The testosterone, like focusing on like, it really does make you think of like it's now or never. It does make you think. It makes you appreciate time way more than you otherwise would. I guess it makes you less depressed too, or less like subject to like sadness or something, where you're like, or fear, or all these other, you know, just the art of being human. It makes you like impervious, but it might be false, might be a little ridiculous at times. I used to like hear this voice like, whatever it takes. And I'm just like, yeah, but you gotta like follow the rules. You have to like do things in the right order. And with my autoimmune disorder, I realized that like the testosterone's masking all these like neurological issues that I'm having. You know, it's masking like severe like brain fog and like confusion and like neuroinflammation that's causing like pain in my head. And so aggression with that combined, you're making like really ridiculous choices. That's just not you. You're not being yourself, but you're not trying to, you're like trying to put a Band-Aid on something you don't know what to do. That's the scary thing about having like a chronic illness, is like, it's not like you're being irresponsible. If people knew what it was like, they would try anything they could. You know, if they thought that testosterone gave them anything, then they would try it. I wasn't like, I didn't want to try it. Like, I liked the way my brain worked without it, you know? But getting all ripped, it did give me some opportunities with all the muscles and everything. Make no mistake there. I will not forget that. The ASU frat guy is like from Turkey or something, or he's Albanian. Zerka's talking shit about Nick. I don't know, man. I think that, like, you have friends in streaming, they do different things. They're like engagement farming. You have to like kind of appease the cycle. We're all waiting for Iran. So we're just waiting for Iran, waiting for, I don't know, World War III. We're waiting for the end of the Ukraine thing. Zelensky being, taken out to the pasture would be really kind of interesting. The guy's like impervious. It's like he's not even really in Ukraine. It's like how is this guy still alive? He's like killing all these Ukrainian people, sending them out to fight the largest petro state in terms of like, well, a petro state of the Cold War era with the largest nuclear arsenal in the entire world and superior military defenses. And it's like, if it wasn't for proxy supplementation from NATO and allies like the United States, it would be a complete joke. It already is a joke. But Putin's not trying to end the war. He's like elongating it on purpose. It has less to do with Ukraine too, and I think more to do with like strategic, splitting up U.S. defense forces around the world. That's what I think. But I don't know. I think China takes Taiwan in the next 6 months. I think the scoreboard suggests that they have to. Like, it's just like out of pride. Like, if there is a multipolar world that you're attempting to, create, you're doing a piss poor job of it on paper. I think people worried about Bitcoin are are confused as to like who actually created the digital currencies or allowed the proliferation of all the frauds without prosecution until the very end. Mt. Gox and Binance and FTX. It's like they wanted these ridiculous things to gestate so that they could regulate it. The backdoor Trojan horse. And then like stable coins and USDC became like this most ridiculous like on-ramp into centralization. And then the frauds, people are just like, hey, you know what? You're a Satoshi fan. Well, you don't want your money stolen, right? So it's like, let's make a compromise here. And I think that in a nutshell is a big problem. It's a big problem. Yeah, it's just, it is what it is. I don't know any way around that. There's just no way central banks would have allowed crypto to flourish. It was designed to force an open ledger system to take over your paper currency to where your Bank of America account is a open ledger. Every transaction is reviewable without a subpoena, just like blockchain. So your paper money will be replaced. That's what's going to happen. And that's probably the plan, which suggests that the originators and the decentralized kind of narrative from the alleged originators are like false. It is a lie. It is a lie. So, like, it's funny. Satoshi never talked about how do you defeat the central banks. How do you stop from people manipulating the purity of your quote unquote system? They couldn't. They never did. Like humans destroyed. If Satoshi's idea was pure, and then like central banks were like really concerned about it, like the entire borrowing system, LIBOR rate, everything depends on central banks. And to have this like taken over by like this weird, like two random people can just like borrow money from each other at like some nominal rate, like this rate that's like 0.00001%. Destroy the whole system. How could they allow that? So it makes me think that they were part of it from the very beginning. It was like a CIA, like something like, I don't know, but we'll see. Let me check. You hear that? Oof, that's brutal. It's not good. I saw Asmongold did his showed his crib. He like went through it. I'm like, this guy makes how much does he make? He makes a lot of money. His place looks like he lives in bumfuck Virginia, living in his parents' house, and like he has the whole bottom floor, and it's like just a hoarder's nest. It's ridiculous, actually. It makes me think that these people just don't make as much money as you think that they do. I don't know. 10,000 views live right now. It's just it's really dark. Like, I thought people were making millions of dollars like Asmongold. How, is he making millions of dollars? Is he a multimillionaire? I thought he is. Is this like just a whole, like, if you get a cool crib or something that like that hurts your whole vibe and people will think like, oh, you're rich now, you sold out? No, people want, your fans like you. They want you to like, rise up. I hope people, if they like me, be like, hey, I don't want Bubba Fett to be like sick anymore. Like, and I was like, oh, he got healthy. That sucks. Or he's not as fat as he used to be. That's, like when like Lizzo lost all that weight, or Adele, and they're like, oh, she's like betraying her fat fans or something. Like, what are you talking about? It's like fucked up. That's the whole ruse, is that there's like this healthy fat thing. Fat acceptance. Fat activism is like Tim Dillon's thing. It's like there's many ways you can practice fat activism. You can, go to the grocery store and, be your weight, but, buy some carrots. You could, go to a Katy Perry concert and, just buy one seat. You could just be standing in a line and breathing. Breathing is fat active. That's a really funny clip. Look that up. Tim Dillon. All credit to Tim. More and more weird stuff. People are getting like fired or stepping down. Even the Rothschild group is under investigation for Ariana, and her ties to Jeffrey. Like that, they have these. It's like, what's disturbing about it is these people that are stepping down. There's not like any like crime. It's just association stepping down, which suggests that there's something worse. Like we are national security issue or global security issue involving players, secrets. It's just in the best interest of nations to just nip this thing in the bud. And I don't know what to say, but it's very disturbing. Why are you stepping down from just having lunch with a guy or having your picture taken? It's bizarre. It's weird. The FBI can take any amount of allegations they desire from anyone. They can take, you can file a complaint with the FBI all day long. The criminal complaints are all with girls like 14 to 17 years old, right? They say he's like burning 5-year-old girls with a magnifying glass. All this, whatever. If that's true, We should probably have an unredacted Epstein files. There's a rumor that there was an unredacted version floating around on like 4chan or something like that. I don't know, but people are just like falling left and right. But I bet Howard Lutnick will not fall. I bet Trump will not fall. And that's where it's like, it's just nothing ever happens. Even with Epstein. Who gives a fuck about Prince Andrew? Ex-Prince is going to get like probation or something for lying, obstruction of justice. Give me a break. Give me a break.
Data connection lost.
Well, I did Sarepta today. Good quarter. I did ADMA. I'm catching up. ADMA, good quarter. It's really boring to be in the markets right now. It's like it's really all about like, is this like one of those years they talk about where like nothing happens? Could that be? You just assume, but it's like not even tradable. It's really weak. Like buy for what? Buy for what? When is this going to, Are we entering a dark period, of like just so much CapEx where it's just like, because it's so early. This is where the CapEx is really, they're going into it. NVIDIA, Apple, Facebook's been at it for a minute, but like people are like, okay, show us something. Let's see, these valuations are getting a little crazy. Let's see it. What's the next thing? When's AGI happening? I see people addicted to their phones. I think the singularity is already here in a nutshell. It's kind of just a matter of time. What to do? How to proceed? Throw away your phone. Touch grass. Open up a lemonade stand. Corner the market. Kill all your neighbors' kids. Your kids win. That's it. That is it. That's what you do. Healthy. Sell watermelons. Kill the black family next to you. Before you kill them, have them give you all the secrets to their watermelons and their fried chicken recipes. Open up fried chicken and watermelon joint for everyone else. You're packed every night. 2 a.m. No guns. No guns allowed inside. It's a rule. You win. It's franchised. You make millions. Billions. Seedless. Boneless. They love you. Thank you. Yeah. Sorry. Maybe this is weird. Maybe I don't know what my hormones are like right now. I don't know. Maybe it's being weird. I don't know. A little off. I don't know. It's okay. I've wanted a cheese. I've wanted to eat a normal cheeseburger and fries. I can't eat much. I haven't been eating a lot. Like a half a sandwich I had yesterday and a Slurpee. That's what I wanted. I didn't really want the sandwich. I forced myself to eat half a sandwich. It's weird. Today, I ate a little bit more, but I'm still, nowhere close to what I need to be. Like, I need to be like, I don't know. Part of, I feel like the sickness probably in the last 2 days is just like your muscles are just being burned alive, Even when I was ripped and really huge, this particular polo was always could make me look like nothing. I have a picture of me wearing it. I look like I'm wearing nothing. But it's worse now because it's true. It's just mush under here. It's just mush. It's so bad. It's I was hard as rock. What is it called? It's called a low key physique. If I just did this, 8 veins would pop out of my forearm. Sad. You see that shit? It's awful. Oh my God. I don't wish it upon anyone. It's brutal. People are talking about you can vibe code these apps. You can't vibe code the infrastructure, the support systems, the data flow. You can't vibe code a Bloomberg terminal because it's the data. It's all this other support and all these things you cannot get. That it is a kind of flow of data that you're getting, you know? But Salesforce too. I think the apps will be ASIC-like, agentic AIs. Maybe they'll get so specific to their data sets, like the pre-training data will be really, really good. And then everything else is like building upon that for like the specific subsets of like, it gets so niche. It's almost like the value proposition actually is the data. So it goes back to like Salesforce's original customer base. They're like, their market share makes them amazing, but they use pre-existing wrapped agents like Palantir to get there. And then this is a question of like, why pick anyone else? But everyone's like, you know, your brother next door can just like build their own Salesforce. I'm like, sorta. What's the marketing pitch though? You have to be successful in it, you know? Yeah. You have to be good. Customer service, integration, customer success, all these, it's a huge thing. It doesn't just like flow from nothing. I'm that guy that points the laser and what like has the DMT and he points the laser at the wall and you turn sideways to see like I guess like the refraction of the laser. You're looking through the light into the other room. It like opens something. You can see this code. Has that guy like shown that there are two separate individuals, two separate testers that see this exact same thing and they have like written down the same language from the same time? In other words, is it even possible to take notes on a DMT trip that are that coherent? That's the problem. I'd like that to be true. You can't take a picture. Like if there's a coherent code or something, people are seeing these like hieroglyphs. Even I've seen them on magic mushrooms. Is that even possible in that dimensionality? Like you can like see something in one framework of time. Both people are in the room. They're both high on DMT. One person looks at something at an angle through a laser onto the wall. The other person does it, refracted laser. They both see the same hieroglyphics or, you know, like matrix code. Or they don't. Can they like write it down exactly? Or is it not possible to perceive it in that way. It's like subject to the perspective, and it shifts. It's real, but it shifts, so it's like not, which is what part of the reason what makes this world's illusion viable to us currently. I don't know. What do I know? I don't know. Yeah? Maybe? No? Okay. My cough's coming back. All right, that's good. That's a good start to come back. I'm gonna go for a walk, get some sun.